All right, hello everybody. We are going for hole number 5 now. Let's take a look at our big tapper here. The biggest thing, I really do like the big topper for its top spin. I think you guys can really benefit from using that. But at the same time, you want to have some precision for this shot as well. And of course, I don't know what the wind is going to be like. It could be, this is the first tournament where the winds change in every tour, so it could be anything, in my opinion. They could give you wind straight in the face. I really don't know. I don't know how much the wind. So far, I've noticed it seems about 30 degrees difference from pro to expert on a couple of these. A couple of them I don't even remember, like the last hole we just played. I don't even remember what it was in expert. So, but it seems like the winds are changing roughly 30, 40 degrees maybe on the high end. And let's see if that continues. I remember this one being kind of side downwind. Oh, and also this tee shot, I remember from my last tee shot, that it also plays downhill. So keep that in mind. Let's see what kind of wind we're going to get. I'm just going to go ahead and, keep fours on here. Of course, if you have to do this with extra miles, it's not the end of the world. Somebody did that in my expert division, and they hit fairway on their first 2 hops. So you can still get away with extra mile. You just need to be very precise. Oh, look at this. So this is actually better wind, because I know it wasn't pointed downwind like this. It was more pointed to the right. So like I mentioned, it seems like, that 30, 40 degree thing is kind of universal so far. I don't know if that's always going to be the case, but so far it is. And you can see, now I am a little worried about this guy beating this too far and landing it in the rough, because like I mentioned, it is downhill, plus way downwind. So you probably do want to, back off a little. And there you are seeing it. He did launch it way too far. So for instance, your extra mile is about probably 2.1 per ring. You're going to want to play a much lower number than that, maybe 1.5, just to be on the safe side. Same thing with me. I'm going to play, I'm going to make sure I'm covered for at least 7 rings here. So I can see the edge of the fairway is about 5 rings. So I'm going to, take off some power. And let me just swap to a katana and now you can see 6 rings I'm okay with. So I'm going to take off a little bit again. And this will give you a really good idea, because like I said, let's see where it lands. You can see, safe. It's nice and centered. Of course, keeping it a little bit lefter is going to be a little bit better. I'll get a little bit more comfortable with things the more times I play it. Keeping it a little bit left is going to make your life a little bit easier. So that way you don't have to cut the corner too much, because you're going to see on my shot I'm going to have to aim at the rough a little bit more than I want to now. So that's a little unfortunate that happens. But nevertheless, I think we're going to be okay here. I always find a way to kind of pull it off anyway. So, but I do want to let you know, just in case you do make my mistake, having that extra side spin over on the right here is going to be a little bit more favorable, because the goal is to make sure that you don't hop your first hop into that rough no matter what. So you want to aim far enough away from it that it gives you that margin of error to miss it no matter what. So that's how you're going to see me, for the most part, play this shot. And of course, having that little bit of extra power, as you can see, can be a very useful thing. And here you're seeing 4 backspin. I'm going to try to up it. I'm actually going to try to play it about 5. But here you can see on that max power, 5 might not be a possibility. So let's do 4.5, because I'm trying to set my max number to make sure that, you know, max still makes it to the hole. And there, I kind of ran out of time, so I didn't really get to make a very nice adjustment. I was looking at the fringe, I was looking at the fairway, and the way that they were bouncing were far too different. So you want to make sure that when you're setting up, your second hop is on the surface that you're aiming for. So I had to rush it there. I just wanted to make sure that I got the shot off more than anything. You know, I needed to play about 4 rings there, in case you're wondering. My backbone is a 9, I believe, and it's about 80 accuracy right now, 1.4 per ring. And I was right at max, so I need to play at 4 rings. So in case you want to know ring adjustment. But what I recommend is making that second hop on the green is what you're going to want to go for. And I don't know if you were paying attention, but if you want to replay that, the fringe and the green were far different bounces. So if you play the one shot and hit the other surface, you're going to miss by a lot, and that's exactly what you saw me do there. Is you saw me miss far to the right there, and had I hit the green, you know, it would have ran out more towards the hole after it bounced. So keep that in mind. I'm going to recommend that you know, you make your second hop on the green. If I would have had a little bit more distance, for instance a Titan ball especially, I would have upped the backspin just a little bit more. I would have landed, you know, the second and third hops right on the front of the green, and hopefully did, you know, 5 backspin would be ideal, and just have just a slight rollout off that third bounce is what I'm looking for. Anytime you have a tight little green, that's the way that I like to play it. And here you see I'm kind of in the qualification zone. I'm gonna have to start falling back. That's fine, no problem. I wanted to fill up my chest, and we can just, you know, for the most part, I can just give up the last. It would have been nice to fill that pin chest, but not the end of the world. So I'm just going to, pretty much for this, you know, I can afford taking one more hole, but I'll just forfeit out the rest. So good luck with getting that hole, guys, and see you guys on hole number 6.